Om Sai Ram. Welcome to my channel ASV Gurukul. Today we are going to read and listen to chapter 6 of Sai Satcharitra. When we fall before Sai, holding his feet, he blesses those who pray to him and believe in him, saying, "Whatsoever happens, he is the one who saved me," holding Sai Satcharitra as a tool to wash away his sins. Today's topic, Ram Navami festival and Masjid Ribes. Before describing Ram Navami festival and Masjid Ribes, the author makes some preliminary remarks about Sadguru as follows. Efficacy of the touch of the Guru's hand. When Sadguru is the helmsman, he is sure to carry us safely and easily beyond the worldly ocean. The word Sadguru brings to mind Sai Baba, the perfect master. He appears to me as if standing before me and applying Odi to my forehead and placing his hand on blessing on my hand. Then joy fills my heart and love overflows my eyes. Wonderful is the power of the touch of our Guru's hand. The subtle body, consisting of thoughts and desires, which cannot be burnt by the gross fire, is destroyed by the merry touch of the Guru's hand. And the sins of many past births are cleaned and washed away. Even the speech of those who feel agitated when they hear religious and godly talks attain calmness. The sight of Sai Baba's handsome Even the speech of those who feel agitated when they hear religious and godly talks attain calmness. The sight of Sai Baba's handsome form chokes our throat with joy, makes the eyes overflow with tears, and overwhelms the heart with emotions. It awakens in us I am He, Soham, Brahma, consciousness, manifests the joy of self realization and dissolving the distinct of I and Thou. Make us one with the Supreme, the reality. When I begin to read scriptures, at every step I am reminded of my Sadguru, Sai Baba, who assumes the form of Rama or Krishna and makes me listen to his life. For instance, when I sit to listen to Bhagavad, Sai becomes Krishna from top to toe, and I think he sings Bhagavad or Uddhav Gita, songs teachings of Lord Krishna to his disciples for the welfare of the devotees. When I myself start to write anything, I cannot compose a few words or sentences. But when he is his own accord makes me write, I go on writing, and there is no end to it. When the disciple's egoism props up, he presses it down with his hand and gives him his own power, makes him achieve his object, and thus satisfies and blesses him. If anyone prostrates before Sai and surrenders his heart and soul to him, then all the chief objects of life was dharma, that is righteousness, artha, wealth, kama, desire, and moksha, deliverance, are attained easily and unsolicitedly. Four paths, karma, dhyan, yoga, and bhakti, lead us separately to God. Of these, the path of bhakti is thorny and full of pits and ditches, and thus difficult to traverse. But if you, relying on your Sadguru, avoid the pits and thorns and walk straight, it will take you to your destination, God. So says Sai Baba. After philosophing about the self existent Brahma, his power, Maya, to create this world and the world created, and stating that all these three are ultimately one and the same, the author quotes Sai Baba's words guaranteeing the welfare of the Bhaktas. There will never be any death or scarcity regarding food and clothes in the devotee's home, says Baba. It is my special characteristic that I always look to and provide for. the welfare of those devotees who worship me wholeheartedly with their minds even fixed on me. Lord Krishna has also said the same in Gita. Therefore, strive not much for food and clothes. If you want anything, beg at the Lord. Renounce worldly honors. Try to get Lord's grace and blessings and be honored in His court. Do not be deluded by worldly honor. The form of the deity should be firmly fixed in the mind. Let all the senses and mind be ever devoted to the worship of the Lord. Let there be no attraction for any other thing. Fix the mind in remembering me always, so that it will not wander elsewhere towards body, wealth, and home. Then it will be calm, peaceful, and carefree. This is the sign of the mind being well engaged in good company. If the mind is vagrant, it cannot be called well merged in Him. After quoting these words, the author goes on to relate the story of Ram Navami festival in Shirdi. As Ram Navami is the most celebrated festival in Shirdi, another fuller account as published in Sri Sai Leela magazine in 9. Origin. One Mr. Gopal Rao Gun was a surveyor in survey department at Kopargaon. He was a great devotee of Baba. He had 3 wives but had no issues. But with Sai Baba's blessing, a son was born to him. In the joy that he felt due to this, an idea of celebrating a fair of Urus occurred to him in the year 1897, and he placed it for consideration before other Shirdi devotees was Tatya Patel, Dada Kote Patel, and Madhavrao Deshpande, that is Shama. They all approved of the idea and obtained Sai Baba's permission and blessings for it. Then application was made to get the collector's sanction for celebrating the Urus. But as the village Kulkarni held against holding the fair of the sanction was refused. But as Sai Baba had blessed it, they tried again and ultimately succeeded in getting the collector's sanction. The day of the Urus was fixed on Ram Navami. After having consultation with Baba, it seems he had some purpose behind this. The unification of 2 festivals, the Urus and Ram Navami. The unification of 2 communities, the Hindus and Mohammedans. As future events showed, this end or objection was duly achieved, though the permission was obtained, but other difficulties cropped up. Shirdi was a village and there was scarcity of water. There were 2 wells in the village. The one in use dried up soon, and the water from the second was brackish. This brackish water was turned into sweet water by Baba by putting some flowers into it. As the water of this well was insufficient, so Tatya Patil had to arrange to get water from outside. Temporary shops were to be constructed and wrestling bouts arranged. Gopal Rao Gun had a friend by name Damu Anna Kasar of Ahmednagar. He also was similarly unhappy in the matter of Pragoni. Though he had 2 wives, he too was blessed by Baba with sons, and Mr. Gun prevailed upon his friend to prepare and supply 1 flag for the procession of the fair. He also succeeded in including Mr. Nana Sahib Nimonkar to supply another flag. Both these flags were taken in procession through the village and finally fixed at the 2 corners of the masjid, and this is called the Sai Baba's Dwaraka. The Sandal Procession. There was another procession which was started in this fair. The Sandal Procession was started by the Mr. Amir Shakar Dalal, a Mohammed Bhakta from Korhal. This procession was held in honor of the great Muslim saints. Sandal, that is chandan paste, and scrapping or put in the thali. It's a flat dish with incense burning before them and carried in the procession to accompany of band and music through the village, and then after returning to the masjid, the contents of the dishes are thrown in the nimhar and the walls of masjid. This work was managed by Mr. Amir Shakar for the first 3 years and then after by his wife. So, on the same day, the two processions, the flags by the Hindus and the sandal by the Muslims, went on side by side and are still going on without any problem. Arrangements. This day was very dear and sacred to the devotees of Sai Baba. Most of them turned up for the occasion and took part in the management of the fair. Tatya Kote Patil looked at all outward affairs, while the internal management was entirely left to Radha Krishnamayi, a female devotee of Baba. Her residence was full of guests in the occasion, and she had to look after their needs and also arrange for all the paraphernalia of the fair. Another work which she was willing to do was to clean and whitewash the entire masjid, its walls and floor, which was blackened and was full of soot on account of the perpetual duni, that is, the sacred fire of Baba. This she did during the night when Sai Baba had gone to sleep every alternative night in the Chavadi. She had to take out all the things including the duni, and after throw cleaning and whitewash, replace them as they were before. Feeding the poor, which was so dear to Sai Baba, was also an important item in this fair. For this purpose, cooking on a grand scale and preparing various sweet dishes was done by Radha Krishnamayi's lodging, and various rich and wealthy devotees took a leading part in this. Transformation of Urus into Ramanavami festival. Things were going on this way, and the fair was gradually increasing in importance till 1912, when a change took place. That year, one devotee, Mr. Krishna Rao Jogeshwar Vishni, the author of Sai Sagunapasana, came for the fair with Dada Saheb Kaparde of Amaravati and was staying in the previous day in the Dikshit Vada. While he was staying in the veranda, while Mr. Lakshman Rao alias Kaka Mahajani was going with puja materials to the masjid, a thought arose in his mind and accosted the latter. Thus, there is some providential arrangement in the fact that Urus or fair is celebrated in Shirdi on Ram Navami. Ram Navami is very dear to all Hindus. Then why not begin the Ram Navami festival, the celebration of the birth of Sri Ram? On this day here, Kaka Mahajani liked the idea, and it was arranged to get Baba's permission in this matter. The main difficulty was how to secure a Haridas who would do Kirtana and sing the glories of Lord on the occasion. But Bisham solved the difficulty by saying that his Ram Akhyan, the composition of Ram's birth, was ready and he would do the Kirtana himself, while Kaka Mahajani should play on the harmonium. It was also arranged to get the Sunda Vada, that is a ginger powder mixed with sugar, as prasad prepared by Radha Krishnamai. So they immediately went to masjid to get the Baba's permission. Baba, who knew everything and aware of what was happening there, asked Mahajani as what was going in the Vada. Being rather perturbed, Mahajani could not catch the purpose of the question and remained silent. Then Baba asked Bish when he had to say. He explained the idea of celebrating Ramanavami festival and asked for Baba's permission, and Baba gladly gave it. All rejoiced and made preparations for the Jayanti festival. Next day, the masjid was decorated with buntings. A cradle was supplied by Radha Krishnamayi and placed in front of Baba's seat, and the proceedings started. Bisham stood up for the Kirtana and Mahajani began to play on the harmonium. Sai Baba sent a man to call Mahajani. He was hesitating to go, doubtful whether Baba would allow the festival to go on. When he went to Baba and the latter asked him as to what was going on and why the cradle was placed there. He answered that the Ram Navami festival had commenced and the cradle was put out for that purpose. Then Baba took a garland from the Nimar and placed it around his neck and sent another garland to Bisham. Then the Kirtana commenced. When it came to close, a loud sound of victory to Ram went up, and Gulal, that is the color powder, was thrown up all around amidst band and music. Everybody was overjoyed when suddenly a roar was heard. The red powder thrown promiscuously went up and somehow fell into Baba's eyes. Baba got wild and began to scold and abuse loudly. People got frightened and took to Baba as blessing is in disgust. They thought that when Rama was born, it was proper for Baba to get wild and enraged to kill Ravana and his demons in the form of egoism and wicked thoughts. Besides, they knew that whenever a new thing was undertaken at Shirdi, it was usual with Baba to get wild and angry, and so they kept quiet. Radha Krishnamayi was rather afraid and thought that Baba might break her cradle, and she asked Mahajani to pull the cradle back. When he went to loosen and unfasten the cradle, Baba went to him and asked him not to remove it. Then, after some time, Baba became calm, and that day's program, including Mahapuja and Arati, was finished. Later, Mr. Mahajani asked Baba for permission to remove the cradle. Baba refused the same, saying that the festival was not yet over. Next day, another Kirtana and Gopal Kala ceremony, and earthened pot containing parched rice mixed with curd is hung to brook that after the Kirtana, and the contents distributed to all, as was done by Lord Krishna amongst his cowherd friends, was performed, and then Baba allowed the cradle to be removed. While the Ramanavami festival was thus going on, the procession of the two flags by day and that of the sandal by the night went off with usual pomp and show. From this time onwards, the Urus of Baba was transformed into Ramanavami festival. From the next year, 1930, the items of the program of Ramanavami began to increase. Radha Krishnamayi started in Namstapa, singing for 11 days of Chaitra. For this, all devotees took part by turns, and she also joined it sometimes early in the morning. As Ramanavami festival is celebrated in many places all over the country, the difficulty of getting a Haridas was felt again. But 5 or 6 days before the festival, Mahajani incidentally met Bala Bhau, who was known for his modern Tukaram, and got him to do the Kirtana that year. Next year, 1914, another Balabhau Satarkar of Birhad Sida Kaveti district, Satara, could not act as a Haridas in his own town as plague was prevailing there, and through Kaka Sahib Dikshit, he did the Kirtana and was sufficiently recompensated for his labor. The difficulty of getting a new Haridas every year was finally solved in 1914 by Sai Baba, as he entrusted this function to Dasganu Maharaj permanently, and since that time he has been successfully and creditably conducting that function until now. Since 1912, this festival began to grow gradually year by year from 8th to 12th of Chaitra. Shirdi looked like a beehive of men. Shops began to increase. Celebrated wrestlers took part in the wrestling bouts. Feeding of the poor was done on a grander scale. Hard work and sincere efforts of Radha Krishnamayi turned Shirdi into a sansthan. Paraphernalia increased. A beautiful horse, palanquin, chariot, and many silver items, utensils, pots, buckets, pictures, mirrors, etc. were presented. Elephants were also sent for the procession. Though all this paraphernalia increased enormously, Sai Baba ignored all these things and maintained his simplicity and modesty as before. It is to be noted that both the Hindus and Mohammedans have been working in unison in the procession during the entire festival, and there has been no confrontation or quarrel between them at all so far. First, about 5,000 to 7,000 people used to gather, but that figure went up to 75,000 in some years. Still, there was no outbreak of any epidemic disease nor any riots worth the name during the past so many years. Repairs to the masjid. Another important idea occurred to Gopal Gant. Just as he restarted the Urus or the fair, he thought that he should repair and renovate the masjid. So, in order to carry out the repairs, he collected stones and got them dressed. but this work was not assigned to him. This was reserved for Nana Sahib Chandorkar and the payment work for Kaka Sahib Dikshit. Initially, Baba was unwilling to allow them to have work done. But with intervention of Mahasapati, a local devotee of Baba, his permission was secured. Baba took a small gadi for his seat, discarding the usual piece of sackcloth used till then. In 1911, the Sabha Mandap, the courtyard, was also put in order with great labor and effort. The open space in front of Masjid was very small and inconvenient. Kaka Sahib Dikshit wanted to extend it and put a roof on it. At great expenses, he got iron posts, pillars, and trusses and started the work at night. All the devotees worked hard and fixed the posts. But Baba, when he returned from Chavadi next morning, uprooted them all and threw them out. Once it so happened that Baba got very excited, caught a pole with one hand and began to shake the uproot in it, and with other hand caught the Tatya Patil's neck. He took by force Tatya's peta, struck a match, set it on fire and threw it in a pit. At that time, Baba's eyes flashed like a burning embers. None dared to look at him. All got terribly frightened. Baba took out a rupee from his pocket and threw it there, as if it were an offering on an auspicious occasion. Tatya was also much frightened. None knew what was going to happen to Tatya, and none dared to interfere. Bagochi Shinde, the leaper devotee of Baba, made a bold advance, but he was pushed aside by Baba. Madhav Rao was also similarly treated, pelted with brick pieces, so all those who went to intercede were similarly dealt with. But after some time, Baba's anger cooled. He sent a shopkeeper, got from him an embroidery pita honor. All the people were wonderstruck to see this strange behavior of Baba. They were at a loss to know what enraged Baba so suddenly and what led him to assault Tatya Patil and why his anger cooled down the next moment. Baba was sometimes very calm and quiet and talked sweet things with love, but suddenly, with or without any reason, got enraged. Many such incidents may be related, but I do not know which to choose and which to omit. I therefore refer them as they occur to me. In the next chapter, the question whether Baba was a Hindu or a Muslim or a Mohammedan will be taken up, and his yogic practices and powers and other matters will also be dealt with. Sainath Maharaj ki Jai. Sachidananda Sainath Maharaj ki Jai. This is the end of chapter 6.